So, welcome back everyone to the next video. If you made it until here, then you should now already be able to make some presentations with different videos, different scenes, and you should hopefully also have some fun with experimenting, and I really hope you tried and learned a few things. So, before we move on with the next topics, let's take a minute of time and just reflect how these new possibilities do affect our communication competences. So basically, as we learned in the very beginning, we know that there is a communication channel which covers three areas like verbal communication, paraverbal communication, and in the end, the nonverbal communication. And by making use of a setup like the one that we have here, you're also able to integrate the nonverbal communication, which means you can show that you agree with something, you can show that you're skeptic for something, and you also can share a good laugh with the audience, which really helps to establish a personal relation with everyone. So I think this is pretty obvious, at least I hope so. The second thing is that we've seen that communication takes place on two different layers. On the one hand, we have the content layer, which is obvious. That's the one thing that we see. And I hope you really feel that communicating on that way is a little bit more appealing to the audience than just having a PowerPoint and some voice. And the second thing is we're also affecting the hidden layer, the relationship layer. So if your audience realizes that you really invest time, that you really care about how you do your job, then you're already contributing to the relationship because you tell them that you're a professional. You can trust me. Yeah. So they see, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. He's done it for a long time. Probably it's good to listen. That's the one thing. The second and even more more relevant thing is that people see that you put in effort, you take effort. And this way you communicate, I show effort, I do care, I value your time. So this is a very good baseline for showing respect. But to enable all these things, of course, you need to be able to master your environment, because if you're overwhelmed by your own setup and you have problems, you start sweating and become nervous, then you're also communicating. You're communicating the opposite. I do not know my job. I'm not professional, which also contributes to the relationship layer, but maybe not in the way that we would like to have. So for this reason, let's consider what we will gonna hear in the next lectures. So the first is we take a little bit more close look to technology and infrastructure. So how to master your setup. And there is not a single answer for that because it really depends on how far you want to go, how much effort you want to put in. So for that reason, I'm going to discuss in the next lecture first a basic scenario, which assumes that you don't want to invest a lot of money, you're just using your notebook and maybe one monitor. And then I'm considering an advanced scenario, which is addressing those guys who want to go one step further. So like you're doing trainings for a living, so probably you're also willing to invest something. And after the technology, we come back to the communication aspect as well, because for now we have only seen how to communicate in presentations, like PowerPoints or whatever. And in the next part, we want to take a look how to anticipate graphical facilitation. So if you've done a lots of trainings before, then probably you are already at the point where you try to communicate with as little PowerPoint as possible. So my personal favorite is also to work on the flip chart. So I try to only use few PowerPoint slides. I just call it the background illumination, but I prefer to develop a common thought or some topic together with the audience on the flip chart. And so in the following lecture after technology and infrastructure, I will show you some ideas and some concepts how you can utilize working on the flip chart in a digital and remote scenario. And I'm not sure yet Maybe if I find time, give a brief introduction to graphical facilitation, like how to draw in general, because I like the topic so much. But I think there are already many lectures out there, so I don't know yet. We will see. But anyways, I hope you had some fun until now, and see you in the next lecture and take a close look on our technical infrastructure. See you there.